Barcelona, one of the most prestigious football clubs globally, has become synonymous with titles, remarkable goals, and mesmerizing play led by legendary players like Guardiola, Xavi, Iniesta, Suarez, and the iconic Messi. Nonetheless, the road to this enviable status was not only sometimes smooth. The Catalan club had to weather a challenging period before their dynasty of success. Barça, an era between two greats. May 15th, 1996.
I així recupera la possessió el Reial Club Deportiu Espanyol. Aquí tenim la banqueta blanc i blava, veiem a Àlex Fernández.
Former coach Johan Cruyff was dismissed from Barcelona's dream team before the last match of the season due to a strained relationship with the club president, Josep Núñez. The dismissal was considered cruel and marked the end of the dream team's era. Bobby Robson faced a challenging situation as he became Barcelona's coach after Johan Cruyff. Expectations were low, but the team turned the season around with the help of a record-breaking transfer, Ronaldo, and a historic comeback against Atletico Madrid. Barcelona fans protested during a Copa del Rey match, but a historic second half saved Bobby Robson's job.
Presión ahora sobre Sergi, ha sacado la pelota para Iván de la Peña. Se marcha muy bien Iván de la Peña de Juanma López.
He was eventually let go after missing out on the league title by 1 point due to Ronaldo's departure and failed contract negotiations. He later returned as an executive but left at the end of the season. Van Gaal arrived in Barcelona to take the Blaugrana back to the top, just as his compatriots had done before him with Ajax. The board chose Van Gaal as Barca's new coach for his Dutch playing style, with Mourinho recommended by Robson. Rivaldo replaced Ronaldo, and despite signing Dutch players, Van Gaal faced issues with the Cruyff Mini 5 players. Stoichkov recalled Van Gaal's first interaction, saying, "I came with your grief." Van Gaal and Cruyff's complicated relationship may have contributed to locker room issues in Van Gaal's first season at Barcelona, stemming from their playing days at Ajax. Despite his successes, Van Gaal is often compared to Cruyff. Despite struggling to implement Van Gaal's vision fully and crashing out of the Champions League group stages, Barcelona won their first domestic title since 1959, which they couldn't achieve under Cruyff. The season's highlights included a win at the Bernabeu and a 3-0 victory over Madrid at Camp Nou. Van Gaal survived a vote of no confidence led by Cruyff's admirer Laporta and saw it as the start of a new era. He implemented a different tactical style and brought in more Dutch players, leading to criticism from fans and media that the team needed to be more Catalan. Van Gaal, despite his limited Spanish proficiency, engaged in a war of words with the Catalan media. Van Gaal gave Xavi his debut, favouring football intelligence over athleticism, and it proved to be a wise decision. Xavi's goal ignited Barcelona's positive streak and helped them win the league 11 points ahead of Real Madrid. However, a negative performance from Rivaldo in a match against Madrid signalled the beginning of a rift between him and Van Gaal. Rivaldo's position on the left wing was the issue, and he didn't like playing there. Van Gaal's decision was based on Rivaldo's weak defensive skills, so losing possession on the wings was less risky. Rivaldo had no issue with his position in the previous 2 seasons, but after being named the best player in the world, he demanded a change, causing tension with his manager and teammates. Van Gaal should have complied with Rivaldo's request to change his position. After being substituted in a match against Atletico, Rivaldo refused to play on the wing again and was sent to the stands for 2 games. He returned to the bench against Celta de Vigo and scored a goal after being brought on in his preferred position in the middle. Despite having a solid team, Barcelona failed to win any titles, and the media's reaction was harsh. Fans turned against the team, and the atmosphere was hostile. Barcelona's loss in the crucial match cost them their chance to win the league title for the 3rd consecutive year. This, coupled with years of pressure, led to the resignation of club president Josep Núñez after 22 years of service. He asked Van Gaal to resign with him, and the Dutchman left after one final press conference.
Amigas y amigos de la prensa, yo me voy. Felicidades. ¿Es posible tú puedes callar?
Barcelona faced a new challenge in the form of Florentino Perez, who aimed to break Luis Figo's bond with the fans and bring him to Real Madrid. Perez surveyed Madrid fans to gain support and had a detailed plan to make his promise a reality. Each Spanish league player had a release clause in their contract. Figo's clause was €60 million, a record sum. During his contract renewal negotiations, Perez made a deal with Figo's agent, offering him €2.5 million if he agreed to join Madrid if Perez won the upcoming presidential elections. The news caused a sensation in the media, although it was unclear if Figo had authorized his agent's actions. July 9th. On July 9th, Figo denied rumours of joining Real Madrid in an interview. However, a week later, Perez won the elections, and Figo went to Barcelona's vice president to stop the deal, but the transaction was complicated. If Barcelona wanted to keep Figo, they had to pay his release clause penalty of €30 million, a considerable amount at the time. Perez promised Real Madrid fans that if he couldn't bring Figo to Madrid, they would get to watch the team for free for a whole season, financed by Barcelona's penalty payment. Gaspar saw the headline that Barcelona would have to pay for Real Madrid members to watch their team for a whole season, and he exclaimed that he would rather die than agree to such a deal. July 24th. On July 24th, Figo was presented at the Bernabeu with little enthusiasm.
Aguanta la entrada de Puyol, también la de Sergi, tocan corto para favor del Real Madrid. Pues se viene la de ventaja muy propicio para el Real Madrid porque Guti tiene...
He embodied Barcelona's hatred toward Real Madrid, much like Laudrup in the past. In their first match against each other after the transfer, the game became more than just football, as the animosity between the two teams reached new heights. Gaspar's paranoia after Figo's transfer led to bad decisions, failed transfers, increased pay wages and release clauses, and a mid-season sacking of the manager. Barcelona barely qualified for the Champions League thanks to Rivaldo's hat-trick in the last match against Valencia. Barcelona lost Guardiola's last match and struggled the following season, while Real Madrid and Figo continued their success. Van Gaal's return saw the departure of Rivaldo and Riquelme's struggles. The team turned to La Masia, and young players like Iniesta and Valdez made their debuts. December 2002. In December 2002, Barcelona lost 3-0 to Seville, leading to calls for Gaspar to resign. Van Gaal resigned as a coach when Barcelona was just 2 points above the relegation zone and in 15th place. He famously said, "We haven't hit rock bottom yet. We could still be last." Second half of season. Barcelona finished 6th in the league under caretaker manager Radomir Antic, but he made some smart decisions. The club then focused on the upcoming presidential elections, and the young Catalan group led by Joan Laporta and Sandro Rosell won. They promised new blood and a strategic transfer. June 10, 2003. Laporta announced a fake agreement with David Beckham during the 2003 club presidential elections, which helped his group win. Perez didn't deny the rumor because of Rosell's relationship with him. After Laporta became Barcelona president and signed Ronaldinho, he appointed Frank Rijkaard as manager, despite his limited experience. The team struggled in December, leading to calls for Rijkaard's sacking, but Cruyff insisted on giving him more time. Barcelona went on an unbeatable streak after bringing in Davidson on loan and won at the Bernabeu for the first time since 1997, finishing the season as runners-up behind Valencia. The fans are optimistic for the upcoming seasons after a historic transfer market that brought in Samuel Eto'o, a player who shares the fans' animosity towards a particular club. Eto'o wasn't given a chance with the first team at Madrid due to the Galacticos, and used to relish the annual 2 matches against Madrid while playing for Mallorca. May 2004. Eto'o's transfer to Barcelona was controversial due to Madrid's partial ownership of his contract, but he quickly became a fan favourite and formed a strong partnership with Ronaldinho. In a famous match against Madrid, Eto'o scored 2 goals in the Bernabeu and declared, "I was here." Barcelona's win against Real Madrid marked the end of the Galacticos era. With new transfers like Deco and Ludovic Juli, Barcelona was among the best in the league. Frank Rijkaard gave limited minutes to a 17-year-old Argentine, and despite early exits from the Copa del Rey and the Champions League, Barcelona won their first league title since 1999.
Rotterdam, però sí que ho ha pogut fer amb el Futbol Club Barcelona.
Summer 2005. Barcelona faced internal issues as club vice president Sandro Rosell resigned due to a lack of transparency and democracy in management. The team struggled initially but improved after increasing Messi's minutes and forming a new trio of stars. Ronaldinho won the Ballon d'Or before the annual match against Real Madrid. Salgado suggested that Madrid fans applaud Ronaldinho to punish their team. Barcelona went unbeaten, leading La Liga by 12 points until February. In the Champions League round of 16, Barcelona faced Mourinho's Chelsea and won the first leg at Stamford Bridge, despite a controversial match with Del Horno's red card. Barcelona won the Champions League final against Arsenal with a goal from Eto'o. It was their first Champions League trophy in 14 years, and they'd also won their second consecutive La Liga title. Barcelona won the Champions League final against Arsenal despite Xavi's injury and Messi's exclusion from the starting lineup. Arsenal had early pressure, but their keeper was sent off in the 18th minute. Sol Campbell scored for Arsenal, but Rijkaard's substitutions changed the game. Iniesta, Larsson and Belletti came in and turned the game around. Larsson assisted Eto'o's equaliser, and Belletti scored the winner. It was a similar feat to the Dream Team's victory in the 1992 Champions League final. Messi was upset about not being included in the final celebrations. Barcelona fell quickly in the following seasons due to Ronaldinho's lack of professionalism and confidence in the club president. In 2006, a year before coaching Barcelona's youth team, Guardiola wrote articles for the Spanish newspaper El País and was impressed by a young Argentine player, recognizing his potential to be part of the future of Barcelona.